ever since I have been on TikTok recently, I felt like everyone is obsessed with the old money aesthetic. And it has seeped through into our beautiful, beautiful land of YouTube, where this has become a discussion of high debate and high talk. So, for all those who have not been introduced to the aesthetic in the world of thousands and thousands of aesthetics, old money refers to a style and way of life associated with wealth and privilege that has been passed down through generations. So, think of queens and kings and princesses and prince. Think of hotel owners like the Hiltons. Think of people with wealth that think of trust fund babies, y'all. Just think of that. Think of princes, kings, Europe, whatever. And it's often characterized with elegance, classic and timeless fashion choices, and a preference for quality over trendiness. So, literally the opposite of what we were told what richness and money looked like in our current day and time. So, it goes from like the rapper trap money aesthetic to like this like low-key Succession vibes. And I don't know, it feels weird, like elegance, classic. I felt like they're very like terms which are associated mainly in the Western world, but like elegance and class can mean different things in different regions. Elegance and class in Japan is not elegance and class in Europe, is not elegance and class in Senegal, right? And then it goes on to describe old money as classic fashion that favors traditional and well-tailored clothing and timeless elegance and neutral and subdued color palettes. So boring colors, y'all, like navy, black, beige, ivory, and white. Just because these colors are versatile, they're classic, they exude an air of sophistication. And then think of high quality fabrics, cashmere, silk, wool, linen, and then minimalism and simplicity. So like not crazy cutouts, but simple straight lines and style. And then think of the fine jewelry and the home decor, and finally things like experiences and education and how people carry themselves. Like you think of old money and think of orchestras, art galleries, literature, and other like intellectual pursuits. But now thinking about old money and my position with old money, it's like, y'all, it's a very interesting style. Like I love old money in terms of the aesthetic. I am very drawn to it. Like ever since, I hate to say this, but y'all, ever since we were on Wattpad and we used to read those stories about like being in Europe and suddenly a prince is your neighbor or whatever those stories were, like your prince, the prince of like the city or whatever, the prince of your city, that does not exist, but the prince, like this very famous prince who's also like very casual, like he likes you, introduce you to his world, or blah blah, their world, and then like you're falling in love, he's falling harder, or like whatever. Like it's just, like it was like something to aspire, something to like. And in terms of aesthetic, I get it, I do get it. And but when it comes like in terms of how to live, like y'all, like let's be for real. Like I'm not gonna comment on like the history of old money or all those essayist things. I just like old money aesthetic for it being an aesthetic. That's why I love aesthetics, because aesthetic is just how things look. Can I ever do old money? No. Like y'all, I'm a sweatpants and big t-shirt girl. Like that's all I wear, that's all I exist in, that's all I breathe in, that's all I eat in, that's all I drink in. Like I want to be comfortable. And I feel like also old money kind of, maybe this is why I do like it, it does like emphasize a lot on like well tailored but also comfortable clothing. And y'all, knowing like if I was sitting in cashmere or silk right now, maybe I'd be feeling better or something, or my skin would be better, or I don't know. But I felt like I do like that idea, and I like the idea of the color palettes being subdued, because I like black and white. They just don't miss. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't miss. So in my pursuit of drawing the old money aesthetic, I decided to go with our favorite favorite social media app here, which is Pinterest. And I just said old money aesthetic, and it gives me all that I'm looking for. Like, y'all, Pinterest is a godsend. Like, it's so good. And I loved all the like coats and like the gloves, these like casual sweaters, and like this like elongated style. And I was obsessed, y'all. Like, I love it. And I love this like easiness that comes with old money, and like elegance. Like I said, elegance is very subjective, but like this just like feeling like, oh, life is made for me. I just loved it. And I felt like capturing all the photos that did like be like giving that vibe of like, oh, life is just to be lived or something. Like, we're not hustling as hard as y'all are. And I felt like I like that. I like the old money aesthetic for what it like beyond its history. I like the idea of just like being able to be delusional and to be like, oh, y'all, I got this. Like, no stress, no worries. Like, I got this life thing down, and just like breezing through life without worrying about rent and water and food, and just having the ability to pursue whatever you want. I feel like this is why we cling on to like old money also. Like, we know the wealthy kids or whatever often get like the chance to be creatives. They get to be artistic. They get to be filmmakers. They get to be actors. They just get the time and the space to pursue what they like. They get to do music, and it's a luxury. Like, what I'm doing right now, drawing old money, feels very, I don't know, it feels very meta, because like I'm doing something I think that is a basic human need turned into a luxury. I'm doing a very luxurious thing, which is drawing and making art, and I am drawing something that is of luxury. And I don't know, I just feel like old money aesthetic is powerful, not for its history or the people within it, but what it represents. And it's like the inner delusion of what everyone has. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everyone is not chasing old money to be actually old money, because like, y'all, sometimes it's people are not chasing old money to be old money, but to feel old money. You know what I mean? Like, we want to feel like we own everything. We want to feel like we have control over our own destinies. We want to feel like there's nothing wrong in this world. And I feel that's what the vibes, the colors, and the clothing all represent. And I've gone deep into this, and I've thought over this a long, long time. But I had really fun time trying to give out all of what I've said into the vibes of what I was making. And I love the aesthetic. I don't think it's for me. Like, y'all, I don't exude old money at all. Like, I may like the colors, I may like the idea of it, but give me my baggy clothes and normal life over anything right now, because I live a normal, slightly normal, sometimes luxurious when I'm drawing, because I feel like drawing is a very luxurious thing. It's the fanciest thing I do in my life right now. But yeah, drawing an aesthetic. Might make this a series. Like, cottagecore, you're up next, because like I have been dying to draw cottagecore for the longest time. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all enjoyed me ranting about old money. It's quite an interesting thing that we've come to like chase, and hope y'all just like enjoy the rest of your days or weeks or months or whatever you're doing with your life. Okay, bye now.